The first, actually, the icon is called widget. There are different icons in the orange, and so I will explain you at least 13 to 14 icons today and how to use these icons. So I call them icons, otherwise the standard name is widget. The first widget or the first icon in Orange software is file, because we need data set on which we can work. So this file helps you in opening the data set or attaching the data set with the Orange software. And there are many ways you can do it. You can import the data from your existing folder. And there are some ready-made data set available in the Orange also. You can open those data set. So it depends upon your requirement on which data set you want to work. And this portion I give for the assignment means if you want to do practice, you just do this kind of flow chart and run it. So I will also show you one by one how we can run all these exercises. So the first icon that I'm going to show you is the file chart. So what this icon is doing? This icon read the input file and send the data set to the output channel. So you can see that every icon is having two channels, input channel and output channel. Like in this case, in box plot, you can see that this is the input channel and the dotted curve is the output channel. Similarly, in file, this is only output channel is there. There is no input channel. Basically, this file becomes the input for different icons. So it read the input data and send the data set to its output channel. History, the data on which you are working. When you open this icon, you can see that file. So the latest file is maintained by the icon. When you double click on the icon, you can see the latest file. There are many sample data sets which are available with the Orange software. So if you want, you can also open those data set. And the in the file, the most popular file which you can import is .csv file. And basically, CSV is Excel file. And if you save that file with a special command, CSV, you can save that file in CSV. So now I'm showing you this icon first. Slowly and slowly, we will move to the other icons. Now I'm showing you how to make this CSV file. This is Excel file. You just go to the file and just go to the save as. And now software will asking you where you want to save. Suppose I want to save here. Now there are different options that software is allowing me. For example, I want to use this file as a comma delimited file. So there is an option that is in front of you. This file is a CSV file, and if you click on the CSV file and just click on save, so the file will be saved as a .csv format. So this is the most popular format we use for the data science. If you are planning to move to the data science industry, then this is the basic practice of keeping the data in data science. We keep the data in Excel, and then we keep the data in the CSV format. CSV stands for comma separated format. And why this format is popular? Because with the help of this format, you can take very less space in maintaining the data. So that's why this method is very useful in the, and all the softwares in data science are designed in such a way that they can import the CSV data. I hope you now understand what is comma separated file, and this is the basic type of file that every data scientist is using. Okay, now I'm showing you how to use that icon. So let me open the Orange and show you that how to use this icon. This is the Orange icon. I hope everybody downloaded this software. This is a wonderful software, and after this course, you will be very comfortable in using this software, and you can add value to the reports. You can add value to the different files. You can make different charts. Okay, now we are having the basic file. Okay, now the first icon. If you click on the first icon, you can see this icon comes on the canvas. And this is, if we click on this, the software is asking for, first of all, software is showing you the latest file on which we are working. So it is a Patanjali data, but I want to change the data set. So I am showing you that. So these are the different data set, my different latest data set. If I want, I can open the data set from here. But today I want to use some new data set. So I'm going to use the internet usage data set. So I click on here, and you can see all the variables of the file. of internet usage. Now I want to check whether the type of variables are there or not. So initially you have to classify that whether the variable is categorical or whether the variable is numeric. Categorical variables like gender is a categorical variable. So let me check it. Serial number is my text. Gender is my categorical variable. Age is my numeric variable. Category age is my categorical variable, and in this category I have three categories: 25 to 30 years, less than 25 years, more than 35 years. In education I have four categories: humanities, IT, management, technology, and it is categorical in nature. Familiarity with the internet is numeric. Internet usage is also numeric, and orientation is numeric. Internet for shopping, because I ask them in terms of 1 and 2. 1 means yes, 2 means no. So it is a categorical. Internet for banking is also categorical, and ranking for surfing. Okay, this is also categorical, but income is a numeric. So in this type, you can see that in this type, I define the variable into two categories: categorical and numeric. Okay, now come to the role. In role, I have to define the variables as a two categories. Number one, feature variable, and second is the target variable. Target variable means the variable which we want to predict. Right, target variable means the variable which we want to predict. So here I keep internet usage as a target variable and all variables as a feature variable. So in this way we define the data, and let's close it. Okay, these are the data set which is provided by the software. If you click on the browse document datasets, some of the datasets are already provided by the software of Orange software. If I click on this, so in this dataset, the Titanic dataset is quite popular, and I will definitely show this dataset to you. So Iris dataset, Titanic dataset, Zoo dataset. So these are the 6 dataset which are already there in the file, and it is these dataset are provided by the Orange software to you, so that if you even don't have any dataset, you can work on some of the datasets. So I hope the first option is clear to you. The first, that is called widget. And now let's move to the second part. This is my second. Let me show you the one icon I explained. Let's move to the second icon. Now second icon is that sometimes we are having another option to import the data file. So this second icon is known as CSV file import. It is a special icon made for the CSV file. And so it is exactly similar to the file widget. So I'm showing you how to work with the second file. This is my second icon, and this icon is especially designed for the CSV files. So let me click on this CSV file import, and if you click on this, you find out the folder. So let's say I want to click on Patanjali data, and if you click on the file, you can see the data set, serial number, day of the week, weekday, date, month, quarter, year. So we can see the data set, and so the cell delimiter is comma, because it is a comma separated file, and decimal. Okay, now this is the data set on which we can work. So it is a very easy command, and so it's upon you whether you go for file command or you go for CSV file command. So both are there. You can choose any option, that is not a problem. But in CSV file import, you cannot open the dataset which is provided by the software. You can only open your CSV format files. Okay, so these two icons, now we have clarity how to import the data. In file, we can import the Orange data as well. We can import CSV file as well, and we can also import some other formats, but they are not very popular. So I'm just, because most of the time we are working on CSV files. Okay, so after learning these two options, let's move to the next part. Okay, now the third icon which I want to discuss is my data table. Because after downloading the data, after importing the data, we need to see the data. So how the data looks like, and this is the simple option of this data set, like data table widget. Widget, I hope you understand, is simply icon. It display attribute value data in the spreadsheet, and we can connect this data set with the file or the import file. So I'm showing you how this data table work and what is the information this data table is providing to us. Okay, now I am doing one more thing here. I just want to import one more file, and this is the file This is the second file, and if I click on this, I want to open the orange data file. So you can see there is a Titanic file, and I'm opening the Titanic file now. Okay. So I open the Titanic file. Now I'm showing you the all the three data sets to you in orange. So let me. I hope you can see it. If we click on it, we are having the Titanic data file. So the fourth variable is my target variable. The target variable indicate that whether the person survived or not survived, what is the gender of the person, age of the person, and status of the person. His status is divided into 4 categories: crew, first class, second class, third class, and age is adult or a child. Sex means female and male. So we are having these categories. Now we are attaching with the data table. So now you can see that I attach the data table, and let me attach with it. So data table take the data from the file, and if we click on the data file, we can see that the yes means those who survived, yes, and those who don't survive say no. So it is the data of 2,201 observations of passengers, and I hope it is the real data. And you can make, but okay, here we are not having any numerical value, so we cannot visualize as numerical value. Similarly, I am showing you the data of the our internet usage data on which we are going to work today, and you can just take the output from here, and I click on the data table. So this is my data table for internet usage. Now in the data table, you can see the data like internet usage. You can also arrange this data set into descending order. If you click here, this is now the data is arranged into the ascending order according to the age. Similarly, you can now this is the descending order according to age. So you can arrange the data set as per the variable, any variable you want to arrange in the serial number. So yeah, so we can arrange the data set also. In case of serial number, actually we defined as a text data. It is not a numeric data according to the software. Internet usage you can arrange because it is a numeric data. Internet usage you can arrange in descending order, you can arrange in ascending order. So this is just for data visualization, right? Okay. Color option is not working in my laptop. Maybe it is working in you. Okay. Now I hope you are now aware about the data table. So what is the role of data table? In data table, we can see the data. We can arrange the data in descending order, ascending order. So this is just very simple command. Let's move to the next part. And so what if in this slide, the PPT I already shared with you. So you can go through with the PPT and run the basic commands. The next command which we are going to discuss here is the paint data. Now I'm showing you very interesting feature of the orange. So that is a kind of paint data, and we will run a small program like this. So we will paint the data, we will show the data in clustering form, and we will see the data in a scatter plot and this format. K-means, right? Okay. This is a very beautiful presentation facility in Orange that you can paint the data. So you are thinking that how can we paint the data, right? So sometimes you want to show something, and for that you are requiring the data. So you want to prove some concepts, right? So how to paint the data? Now I'm showing you. It is a very interesting exercise, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's see. So my next exercise is how to paint the data. So let me show you the Orange software. So here I'm deleting all these things, and okay, yeah, rather than I open a new file. In new file, the option of painting the data is this: paint data, and no data is required for this. You have to create the data. Let me start creating the data set. Okay, now I have to decide that how many variables I need to paint. So my first variable is suppose income. My second variable is suppose mobile phones or income, or let's say consumption, and I can also add one more variable into it. So if I double click on it, I can change the name income, consumption, and the phone. Okay. Now you take these are the different options for printing the data. So let's say I divide the income into 3 categories first. So I click on the income. If I click on the income, it means I am creating a data file for data for income. So let's start from here. So you can see that I am creating the one by one, or you can take the brush. It is creating the data very fast. Okay. And this is my high income group. And here I am using the lower income group. Rather middle income group. And similarly, here I am creating the lower income group. So all the plus indicating the observations. Okay. Now I want to prove that where income is high, the consumption is also high. So I'm putting the consumption here, and I'm showing you this is for high consumption. Similarly, I'm creating some data points here, and some creating data points also in this slide. Okay. Now I want to show this. Okay, so let's start with this two. If you want to keep them near, you should click on that. So they will come to near. It is a magnet, and jitter, they will move apart. So you have different options. Jitter means throwing away, and magnet means bringing together, like this. Yeah. So I think this is fine, and now cross it. So now you are surprising that how can I create the data with it? So now I'm attaching this with my data table. If you click on the data table, you can see all the values, of the data set. This is the income and consumption. So we are having the data of income and consumption, and this is actually the data, right? So this is the data, and you may be thinking that what to do with this. So now I'm showing you that what we can do here. So let's see the scatter plot. If you click on the scatter plot, let me check it. Let's take from here the scatter plot. Yeah. So here you can see that you can prove that if income increases, income is high, consumption is also high. If income decreases, consumption is also decreases. So you can plot the relationship between two variables like this. So if income increases, consumption also increases. If income decreases, the consumption also decreases. This is the relationship between the two. So this is the simple case of data creation. Now I want to show you the exercise that we are willing to do. The exercise is that paint data, distance, hierarchical clustering. So because I have to remember the flow and distance, hierarchical clustering. So let's see the effect. I'm removing it. So here I want to have the distances. So just type distance. You can see the distance. Actually, distance will find out the difference between the observations. Are they similar? Are they different? And on the basis of these, we can find out that how many groups we can form. Let's say distance, hierarchical clustering. And now, if I ask you that how many categories we can form on the basis of income and consumption. So let's see. The software is showing you that these are the different. Okay. So I think this is a very huge chart. But I can tell you that there are 3 categories we can form from here. So where to decrease the height ratio? top, yeah, zoom. We can reduce the zoom. Now you can see that there are three clusters. This is cluster number 1, this is cluster number 2, and this is cluster number 3. So the data can be divided into three clusters. This is cluster number 1, 2, cluster number 3. Right. So on the basis of the data we painted, the data can be divided into three clusters, and basically these three clusters are the rich income, middle income, and the lower income group. So there are three categories of the income group and consumption. You can see in this hierarchical clustering. Okay. Now let's see some other. Now I'm creating the k-means, and after that scatter plot. Now after that scatter plot. Okay, so now you can see the relationship between income and consumption. So there is a straight line going through with this, showing you that higher the income, higher the consumption. Okay, now in this part, basically the important point is that sometimes we want to show the relationship of the variables, like higher the income, higher the consumption, higher the advertisement, higher with the sales, or some hypothetical example you can take in this case, the higher the profit, higher the dividends, or whatever be according to your area. Let's say higher is the weight, higher is the mm, higher is the tension, like this. So you can paint the data according to yourself, according to your choice. So this is one of the very unique feature that this Orange is having. No other software is having this feature. This is a very unique feature that we are having in the software. Painting of the data. So paint data is very unique concept in the Orange. So let's move to, I hope you enjoyed. Let's move to the next. And the paint data icon is this. So in this icon, we are having different facilities. Let me delete this. And we are having, so we can paint with the help of, okay, if you want to select, you can also do selection. So you can move the selection like this. And the selection option is quite popular here. So you just select the data and can move like this. So this option we are also having. If you want to clear it, it will be clear. Magnet, I'm just repeating again. Magnet, all the data points comes together, as you can see. So it is a magnet. So it will attract all the data points. And jitter means it will throw all the data points. Okay, but now we actually all are considering into one. So we can use this brush in creating the data set and do it again. So I hope you enjoy this option. Now I'm showing you other options. So I'm deleting this because the flow chart I already made in the PPT. So you can make this chart from here. Okay. So just after looking this paint of the data set, just see this. We can paint the data in the 2D plane. You can place individual data points or use a brush to paint larger data sets. Support the creation of a new data set by visually placing data point on a 2-dimensional plane. Data point can be placed on the place individually put or in the larger number by brushing. Name the axis and select the class to paint data instances. Instances mean the observations, and you can add or remove classes. Okay. Vijay is asking how the paint data helps in organization and what if there are multiple variables to plot, won't they be confused to analyze? Okay, Vijay, actually I'm telling you as a sometimes we want to show that suppose education have a significant effect on the income, or sometimes in the organization we want to show that if you spend more advertisement, the sale will increase also. If you give more salary to the employees, they will be more happy and do the productive work. So basically, you are not having the data, you are just having the concept. And the paint data will help you in visualization of the concept. That if you increase the advertisement, the sale will increase. So you can, or you want to, like in university, there are three designations: assistant professor, professor, and professor. Similarly, in organization, we are having top management, junior management, and middle management. So you can imagine something, and you can visualize the relationship of between these different class or the different categories with respect to their salary, or with respect to their motivation, with respect to their talent. So you can imagine the different variables, and you can show the different the relationship between them. You can paint 3 categories, 4 categories, 5 variables. That is not a problem, because I have limited time, so I showed you only 2 variables, but you can try for 3, 4, 5 variables. That is not a problem. And because now you are having the software, you just try with 3 variables, 4 variables, and see the effects. Okay, so paint data is quite interesting thing, and no other software is offering you this facility. Okay, yeah. So for example, I show you the relationship between the income and consumption, and I demonstrated that if income is high, consumption is also high. And okay, Prashant is asking that using distance. What is the distance? Prashant, actually, distance is a concept which comes from the mathematics. And if you have mathematics in 12th class or 11th class, there's a formula that distance between two observation is x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. So here all the variables are x1 and y1, and the observation of x and y is basically the observations, and you can find out the distance between two observations. Distance between two observations can be calculated by the distances. If distance is very less, it means they belong to the same group. If distance is very high, then they belong to the different group. So this is the concept of the distance. So distance in analysis, we call it similarity and dissimilarity. Similarity and dissimilarity. Similarity means if two respondents are same in income and consumption, it means they are similar. They belong to a single group, right? If the income of two different people are significantly different, as well as their consumption is also different. So income of first people minus income of second person is square, plus consumption of first minus consumption of two is square. If this distance is very high, it means they belong to different class. And if this distance is very low, they belong to the same class. So this logic we are applying to find out that how many clusters we can form with the help of the data. So I hope you got the answer and you understand what is this. And in the data, this distance is very important, because in machine learning, in higher order statistics, the distance between the observations play a very important role. And I hope you can recall the formula for distance that we calculated in 11th or 12th class in the geometry, or in the distance between the points. Yeah. So let's move now. And the next icon I want to describe is the data information. It is a very simple icon, not a very complicated icon. If you want to know how many variables in the data file, how many instances means how many observations in the data file, and how many this information you can get with the information icon. So I'm just demonstrating you what is the data information, and it is very easy. So let's see the information. Let's, for example, this is the data set. No, but in this data set, all the variables are categorical. Let me show you in this case. This is a data information you can see in the orange, and I want to find out the information about this data set. So let me click on it, and here the software is the output is telling you that there are 100 observations. Row means observations. There are 14 columns. Columns mean the variables. There are 14 variables. There are 100 observations in this data file. 8 of the variables are categorical. 4 variables are numeric, right? The numeric target variable we are having in this file. Okay, so data is stored in the memory, and this is 100 observations. So basic information about the data set you can see in this icon. Not a very difficult one, very simple. Okay, now let's move to the next part. Data information, you understand correlations. Yeah, this correlation is very important in statistics, because suppose you want to find out the correlation between sales, advertisement. You are interested in finding out the correlation between the income and the some other variable, or consumption, the correlation between GDP and money supply, correlation between the hard work and performance. So the correlations are very important thing in statistics. And we want to know whether the two variables are highly correlated or not. And I just for remind you, the correlation between two variables is always lie between -1 and +1, or in simply we can say the correlation between two variables lies between 0 and 1, whatever be the sign. Plus sign means positive correlation, negative sign means negative correlation. So correlation analysis can be done with the help of the software very easily. So this is the flow chart we will make, the data, correlations, file, correlations, and the scatter plot. Correlation is basically the correlation between the different variables. There are two types of correlations. One is the Pearson correlation, and second is the Spearman correlation. If you remember, there are two types of data set. One is known as a scale data set, and second is ordinal data set. Maybe these figures are very complicated for you, but don't worry. In simple language, if you want to find out the correlation between two variables, we can use this icon. So let me show you that how can we use the correlations in the orange. Now I am deleting this, and I'm also okay. So here I want to find out the correlations. This is the correlations. Okay, and after the correlation, I just want to plot that with the help of scatter plot. So this is my workflow, and I want to feature to feature. Feature to feature means variables, and data to data, and feature to feature. So these correlation I want to find out. Okay, let's see the correlation first. The correlation between internet usage and the familiarity with the internet is the highest. It is 0.557. The correlation between age and internet usage is minus. You can see that it is a minus correlation. Higher the age, less is the use of internet, and less is the age, more is the use of internet. The correlation between technology orientation and internet usage is almost zero, because it is 0.0, so it is almost zero. And this is also very low income. There is no relationship between income and internet usage. So in this way, we can find out the correlations. And you can see one thing: the correlation is also only coming with the feature variable or the numeric variable. It is not available for the categorical variable. So for categorical variable, we cannot apply the correlations. Correlation can be applicable only on the numeric variables. Now in scatter plot, you can see that the correlation between, okay, I want to find out the correlation between so let me run it again. Okay, so it is not let me try to make it again. Scatter plot. Let's see the data with data. Yeah, in this case, I want to find out the correlation between let's say age and the use of internet usage. So now you can see that this line come from here, show regression line, because in scatter plot, regression line is quite important. And you can see this line is downward sloping, and correlation is found to be minus 0.46. It is a negative value. So negative correlation means if the age increases, internet usage decreases. As the age increases, internet usage increase. Internet usage. Okay. So less age, more usage. High age, less internet usage. So this is a negative. This is a negative. Okay. In the y-axis, internet usage is on the y-axis, and age is on the x-axis. So you can see that as age increases, the internet usage also decreases. Okay. Now we are having some options. So you can make the chart, beautiful charts, and you can include legends or include it. So this is called legend, and you can have grid lines and without grid lines, or this is not having any options. Okay, label size. So size, I think we should basically this. You can see that the size increases with the age, but we want to show that internet usage. I think this chart is looking more better, because in this case, bigger circle means more internet usage, and which we actually want. We want to show that more internet usage should be represented by the big circles, and less internet usage should be represented by the less circles. And the number is also there. You can see. So 6 means 6 hours in a week, and 42 means 42 hours in a week. So you can see that age is 22, and the Okay, internet usage 40. So this is the correlation chart and scatter plot showing the relationship between the two. Shape. Okay, now I'm doing the shape here. The X is representing the male, you can see, and circles are representing the female. So we can also find out one very interesting thing here. The high internet usage is found in case of males, and the low internet usage is found in case of females. So as you can see in the chart, there's a difference between the internet usage of male and female. More high internet usage you can see in the case of males. So all the interesting graphics we can do with the help of Orange, and these options are not available in any other software, I'm telling you. So I hope you are taking the interest. Okay, I hope you have clarity on the correlation. Just for one, okay, if you are getting me, just please type yes. Good. So you are with me, great. And if you want, I can provide you the video recording of this lecture so that you can do the practice, because I am recording this session, and in case if you need, I will provide. So thank you. Now we are moving to the next step. So correlation is clear, and now so outliers. This is a very interesting phenomena. Outliers, right? So outliers are those abnormal kind of people who are different with others. Outliers are basically, there are different type of outliers. There are different type of outliers, and these outliers are different types. Normally they are abnormal, but we can't say them abnormal, but they're different. Like for example, the chief executive officer of a company, right? Anybody cannot be a CEO. So CEO is only one. He's an outlier, because if you have the data of the salaries, the salary of the employee may be 2 lakh, 1 lakh, but the salary of the CEO is 1 crore, 2 crore. So these are outliers. So how can we find out the outliers in the data set? In the Orange, we are having a very unique feature to find out the abnormal people. So if we are having the data of 200, 400, 500, we can pick out the abnormal people in the group. So I'm showing you how we can pick out the abnormal people in the group. So just read these 4 lines. One efficient way to perform outlier detection on moderately high dimensional data set is to use the local outlier factor algorithm. So it is the name of the algorithm, local outlier factor. The algorithm computes a score reflecting the degree of abnormality of the observations. It measures the local density division of a given data point with respect to its neighbors, right? Okay, so now I'm showing you the outliers and how we can find out the outliers from the data set. So let's see. And this is the icon which we are going to use now. So the flowchart that we are using is file, outlier, and the outlier to data table. Okay. Now suppose I want to find out the outliers in this data set. My internet usage data set. So I just take it, and so I am using the outliers now. And if I click on the outliers, there are different methods, but I'm using the method called local outlier factor. LOF factor, local outlier factor, local outlier factor. Just this factor we are going to use, and the software is asking you that how many outliers you are interested to find out. So I'm just saying that 5% outlier I want to find out. So now I'm interested to see these 5 observations which I can say they are abnormal. So let's see. I am taking this to the data table, and I'm finding out the outliers to the data, right? So now I'm taking the outliers, only the outliers, into the data set, right? So let's see the outliers. Okay, now I hope you can see all the outliers. So these are the outliers. There are 5 outliers, and the observation number 13, observation number 33, 50, 61, and 87. So these respondents are having some different abnormality in the data, right? On the basis of some abnormality, they are these are find out by the software, and they are the software is suggesting you that there are these 5 outliers are there in the data set, in this case, the outliers is basically the abnormal people. So all the 5 people are abnormal in some sense, right? If okay, now let me check it how they are abnormal. Mm. Okay, maybe they're abnormal with the income. So this person, I know that he is abnormal in terms of the income, and maybe because of age and internet usage, but internet usage is normal. Okay, so according to the algorithm by the software, so these 5 people are the outliers. We have to understand that why they are outliers. Maybe the age is the highest. It may be one of the reasons that outliers. This person is outlier. 34, maybe because of age, and maybe because of the income. So these people are uh, supposed to be outliers according to the software. So I hope you understand this, and what is outlier, how we can find out the outliers in the data set. And actually, there are many people who are abnormal, but it is very difficult to find those people. So this outlier technique is useful in hospitals basically. So when you are having the data of different patients, you can find out that which person is abnormal, right? Then we can find out the abnormality in that person. And this technique is very, very useful in health science, and where the software is telling the analyst that these 5 persons are suffering from some abnormality. Now it is upon you how to find out the abnormality. So for example, I'm telling you that if there are many patients coming to the hospital, so they come with the different medical reports. So all the medical reports are feeding in a data set, and this then the hospital is trying to find out that which persons are abnormal, which persons are normal. So on the basis, they can find out the abnormality and treat them. So that abnormality is very, very important in banks also. When you take a loan from the banks, so banks are interested in finding out that to whom we should not provide the loans. To whom we should not provide the loan. So suppose there are 100 applicants for the loan, so they can find out that who are the abnormal persons among them, and they can reject the loan to these people. Or even you can apply this technique on the existing customers. So you can find out the which customers are seems to be abnormal and why they are abnormal, and try to find out these abnormality. So these outliers are very important in the data set, and those who are in marketing, those who are taking decisions, so you have to deal with the outliers very cautiously. So they are creating a lot of risk for the business. In this is the small illustration of finding out the outliers using the orange. There are many algorithms which we can further use to find out the outliers. After the outliers, let's move to the next part. And yeah, so it is a very interesting feature, color. You can make the color if you want to. Suppose you want to show females in different color, male in different color, young people in different color, old people in different color. Then you can use this colorful option. So color it comes after the file, and you can take this colorful pictures in scatter plot like this. So I am showing you the feature of color, how to use the feature of color. So let me use color here, outliers in place of the outliers. And where is the color? Yeah, this is the option of color, making colorful. Now you can see that the data is divided into 2 parts. In colors, the data is divided into 2 parts. One, the variables which are categorical in nature, like male, female, less than education wise, humanities, IT, management. And after that, we are having the feature variables, continuous variables. So color of continuous variables is coming like in this case. Now suppose I want to change the color of the males. So after that, some option comes, and suppose I want to give this color to the males. So now males are represented by this color. Similarly, if you want to change the color of more than 35 years, so you can select the color and press OK. And female, you want to color, let's say they're pink, we can use to represent the females. I hope you understand this. So providing a different color to the people, and you can select the color of different options like age. Age you want to represent with this color, but here we are not having very colorful options. Let me check this option. After that, if you want to make a plot, you can see your favorite colors, scatter plot. And now if I want to use the age, size, gender, yeah, colors are not coming. Let me check it. But here, color, gender. So you can see that the females are colored as pink and males are colored as some green, some green color. So these green color, pink color and green color are decided by us. So this is the benefit of coloring the options, right? So this is just one example. You can make different colors. You can decide your colors as per your choice. So sometimes to make the charts colorful, this option is good. We can decide that how to represent the females, how to represent the male, how to represent young people, how to represent different class. So this option is quite interesting in Orange. So I hope it's understood. Let's move to the next part. Featured statistic. Featured statistics is actually if you want to show all the variables in one diagram. Sometimes we want to report the whole data set in one chart. So that is very interesting and useful in featured statistics. So normally when we import the data set, we want to show all the variables in one chart, whether categorical, whether they are continuous. So it is very popular chart. So I'm showing you the featured chart. Let's make here featured statistics. And if you click on the featured statistics, so suppose I have to decide that I want to show the internet usage. So in this case, the internet usage, the average internet, you can see the mean of all the variables. This is the average of all the variables. The center for the mean for the grouping variable is not useful. You know that. In age, the average internet usage is 36. The average age of the data is 36.33. The average familiarity with the internet is 5.65. The average orientation towards. So basically, this line is showing you the average, and this is the dispersion and minimum value, maximum value, and missing value if you have. So minimum value, missing value only available for the featured variables. For the continuous variables, it is not available for gender and category variables. In income, you can see that the average income is 50,000. Average dispersion is 0.36. Minimum income is 12,000. Maximum income is 1,25,000. So we are having all the data set in a single chart. So you can take the single plot in the page. All the variables are coming into one page. And distribution wise, in distribution, you can make different distributions. Like if I click on this, so this is the distribution. Distribution of the different variables according to the gender, distribution of the different variables according to the age. So you can see that there are three categories in every chart. Like this. So it is a representation of all the variables into one page, simple, with mean, dispersion, minimum value, maximum value, and the distribution. So all these statistics are there in one chart, simple. And then we are moving to the next part. Okay, now I'm showing you some of the graphs, 4 or 5 charts, which are very popular and which you must understand. The first, yesterday I also showed you the box plot, but today we are doing it again. And I will try to make more clarity to you. This is a box plot chart. Now in box plot, some of the things you should remember is that there's a yellow line, a small yellow, there's a yellow line in every box. You can see that this is a yellow line. and yellow line. So yellow line is showing you the median. Yellow line is showing you the median, right? So you can see that it is mentioned that the median is represented by yellow vertical line. Then you can see this blue line. This is a blue line. Blue line. This blue line is indicating the mean. This is a blue line indicating the mean. And this value, this value, basically it is a body and it is a tail. So in the body, the first value is known as the value which lie on the 25th position or 25th percentile, or it is called first quartile. So here 6 is first quartile, 12 is the third quartile value which is lying at the 3/4 position. So first quartile, the third quartile, median, mean. So these values are available in the plots, and these plots are very, very popular in industry. And reason I will show you that you can understand on your own why the box plot are very, very important, why very, very useful in the data science. Okay, so now I hope you understand this yellow line is a median, blue line is a mean. The first value in the body is the first quartile. This value is third quartile, and we are having the minimum value and the maximum value. Now I'm showing you so how to plot these charts. Now I want to plot this chart for my internet usage chart, and so where is box plot? This is my box plot. Now I'm showing you. Suppose I want to show the income. Okay, so let me see. Is it box plot? So I hope you can see the box plot. And suppose I want to see the income, and I want to see the income for gender. So the average age of female is 50,000. 36,000 is the first quartile, it is second quartile. Now I want to compare the use of internet of male and female, internet usage of gender. So here you can see that female are using less internet, males are using more internet. The average use of internet is 17.6 for male and 9.23 for females. And here you can compare the medians. This is the median for male and this is the median for female. You can also compare the means. The average is high for male, average is low for females. And 13 is the first quartile, 14th is 20th is the okay, and this plus minus 7 is the standard deviation. So standard deviation means what in statistics, whenever we calculate the mean, we also calculate the standard deviation. So standard deviation is 7.1. So we are having the standard deviation, or we are having the mean, we are having the median, first quartile, third quartile, minimum value, maximum value, and you can compare with different categories. So you can make the plots here. Let's for example, if I want to show the category of age and gender, so the chart will come like this. But the box plot is majorly used for this, like familiarity with the internet in the gender. So here you can see that male are more familiar with the internet, females are less familiar with the internet. So this kind of plots you can also make in the chart. Let's say I want to plot internet usage with education. Education wise, it seems to be equal, but I know that it is different for age. So let me plot for age. So here you can see that the respondent who are less than 25 years of age, their internet usage is high. The respondent where age is more than 35 years of age, the average is very low. The average is very low. Between 25 to 35, the average is 12.765. So this chart will telling you that whether the age, whether the internet usage of different respondent with different age groups are different or not. So I hope this chart is quite interesting. And if rather than taking the continuous variable, if I take the gender and combination of gender and category of age, or internet for banking. So here you can see that the females, okay, it is simply the chi-square. It is so box plot. In box plot, we can compare the continuous variable for different categories. Okay, and now let's move to some remaining. Okay, distribution, very important, very interesting also, because whenever we import the data set, we want to find out the distribution of the variables. Distribution. So let's see how we can see the distributions of the variables. Now, rather than the box plot, I'm interested in finding out the distribution. So where is distribution? Distribution. This is the distribution. Okay. Now I want to make the distribution of variable like familiarity with the internet, and I want to compare the distribution of the male and female. So here female is blue. So distribution of female is like this, and distribution of male is in the red. And so you can make different charts here, and there are different options you are having. You can make the bars, you can hide the bars, and you can, okay, this is the probabilities, cumulative distribution of the male and female, and let's say education. So if this, because distribution of categorical variables comes like this: male and female, age category, and no, suppose we don't want to compare, none. Okay, so let's see the distribution of internet usage. This is single distribution. We assume that it is a normal distribution. Okay, so this is the distribution of the internet usage: gender, age, category, education, familiarity with the internet, orientation towards technology, shopping, banking, ranking, or you can also split into education wise. So this is the education wise distribution, and we can also split with respect to internet, with respect to age. So this is the distribution according to the age of internet usage. I hope actually these type of charts are quite interesting in data science, and we can plot different distributions for the different categories like this. So this is quite easy, and